Forgiveness is the result, not the process. So, I'm Justice Bartlett, an intuitive coach, hypnotherapist, and I'm also working through some very personal layers of a relationship right now, specifically that relationship being with my deceased father. And I'm writing about it. And both personally and professionally, I keep coming up against these ideas about what forgiveness is supposed to be, how it's supposed to be enacted in our life, how it's allegedly supposed to be this magnificent spiritual panacea. And in both my personal life and in my professional practice, I have never found that true to be the case. What I have found is that forgiveness is the result of doing the work. It's not the process. We don't decide, I'm going to forgive somebody, and then all of a sudden, all of our internal wounds and adaptations start to suddenly make sense. It's actually the other way around. So when somebody harms us, they imbalance us, and they take away an element of our sense of self, safety, and power. Forgiveness is the natural effect of returning those elements back to ourselves. And it's from being patient and caring and honest and integrating our hurt, our pain, our confusion, making peace with what we were and were not capable of navigating at the time of the wounding, and what happens, what may or may not happen, because you might not wind up forgiving someone who hurt you. It's very personal, and it's not an indication of spiritual, psychological, or emotional failure if you don't forgive somebody. I actually really love the way that Clarissa Pinkola Estes spoke about forgiveness in Women Who Run with Wolves, and that it can happen in increments, and that it can happen at like a percentage, and that it doesn't have to be a static thing. You may not ever get to a state of total forgiveness with someone who's caused harm to you. What you may feel is that on a certain day, you're at 20% forgiveness. On another day, you're at 60% forgiveness. And that rate doesn't have to be static. It can fluctuate. And that can be determined on your own internal conditions, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the experiences that led you to feel imbalanced in the first place, how you feel about the other person. Forgiveness is a relational process. And in any relational process, it's your body, it's your system that is in the lead, that you are learning to hold, to tend, and to be responsible for. So as your responsibility and honesty and integration with yourself grows, that may or may not lead to forgiveness. Where I'm at with forgiveness in my own journey, say specifically with my dad today, is I feel really pretty steady. I feel really pretty even. If we were to calibrate a percentage, we could go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I may be at 70% today, but I'm feeling really stable in my body. I'm feeling like a sense of equanimity when I think back around the interactions that we engaged in over the course of my life and our relationship that left me feeling unstable. And I don't feel unstable right now. So the forgiveness has risen in equality to the internal stability that I'm holding for myself. The 30% that isn't at 100% forgiveness is I still feel tender. I am still navigating adaptations that are a result of the way that I participated in this relationship that I may be tending for the rest of my life. Because some of these experiences that we have. They rewire our system. They change the way that our field interacts with other people and with reality at large. And that's okay. But that's something that you get to notice and be in alignment with that process. You don't owe anyone your forgiveness, not even yourself. That gets to arise naturally and bloom as is appropriate for you, as is organic and natural. And you don't have to force it. And you certainly don't have to perform it. Because if it's not organic, if it doesn't just arise in essence to your own internal and relational conditions, then it's probably not going to hold and it's not going to feel real for you. And what matters is that you get to feel real for yourself. So let's leave that right there. Thank you for your time and attention, and take care.